Namaste Ji and welcome everyone to today's satsang. I would like to invite at this moment Pandit Vidyarthi, who will be officiating today's satsang, as well as Mataji Priya, which we will hear later for today's pravachan. Over to you, Pandit Ji.
Thank you, Samantha. Thank you. Namaste to everyone. On behalf of Toronto Arya Samaj, I wish to extend a cordial and warm welcome. Namaste to everyone as we commence our weekly satsang meeting here on Cyberstan in this virtual atmosphere. If we can, as we sit together yet separate, if we can be relaxed and focused, be comfortable in our individual spaces, breathing in deeply, gently, slowly, in and out a few times. In, out, in again. Together we would chant Om after breathing in. Om. अतः संध्योपासना विधि ओम शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शन्योरभिस्रवन्तु नः ओम शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिश्रवन्तु नः ओम शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः इंद्रिय स्पर्श ओम वाक् वाक् ओम प्राणः प्राणः ओम चक्षुश्चक्षुः ओम श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम् ओम नाभिः ओम हृदयम् ओम कण्ठः ओम शिरः ओम बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम् ओम करतलकरपृष्ठे Marjana, seeking to instill God's qualities in these our organs. Om bhupunatu shirasi Om bhuha punatu netrayoho Om swaha punatu kanthe Om maha punatu hridaye Om janaha punatu nadhyam ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि ॐ खं ब्रह्मा पुनातु सर्वत्र प्राणायाम ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ मः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ मः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ मः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ ऋतं च सत्यं च धीधा तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्रयजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधत् विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वाहा मनसा परिक्रमा seeing God's presence through his bounties in all directions. ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपत्यसितो रक्षितादित्यैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः इषुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तम्भो जम्भे दध्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजी रक्षिता पितरैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः इषुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तम्भो जम्भे दध्मः ॐ प्रतीचि दिग्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रिराकुरक्षितानमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः इषुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तम्भो जम्भे दध्मः ॐ उरीचि दिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः इषुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तम्भो जम्भे दध्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिता वीरुधैषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः इषुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तम्भो जम्भे दध्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वादिग्बृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नमः ईशुभ्यो नमः एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं भयं द्विष्मस्तम्भो जम्भे दध्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परि स्वः पश्यन्त उत्तरं देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्म ज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उरुत्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानाम् उरगारनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्याव पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्युषश्च स्वाहा. May I enjoy it all for 100 years. ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्चुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदः शतं जीवेम शरदः शतं शृणुयाम शरदः शतं तब्रवाम शरदः शतमधीनः स्याम शरदः शतं भूयश्च शरदः शतात्. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Contemplating the meaning. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. I surrender myself, my life, my lifestyle unto you, O God. हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनाधिकर्मण धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्या सिद्धिर्भवे नः. ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवत्तराय च. हे मंगलेश शंकर मंगल करो हमारा पावन प्रकाश पाए परमार्थ पुण्य द्वारा परिज्ञान पयतिलादो अवधर अगाध दानी तेरी शरण में आया हे भक्त यह भवानी. अब अंत में प्रभु जी तुमको नमन करे हम वेदों के ज्ञान द्वारा जीवन सफल करे हम, जीवन सफल करे हम. Salutations unto you, O Lord, the embodiment and bestower of peace and bliss. Salutations unto you, O benevolent one, O auspicious one, O supreme one. Yes, indeed, I offer my salutations unto you, since there is no one nor nothing else comparable to you in this entire creation. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace in all facets of my life. Iti Sandhyopasana vidhi samaptah. Ataha Agnihotram. If you're taking water, sipping in the right hand. Om Amrito Pastaranamasi Swaha. Thou art our support. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Thou art our covering. Om Satyam Yashaha Sriram Srihashrayatam Swaha. Undispersed. May there be the requisite strength in all my body limbs, pledging to use them in the correct way also. Om Vangmasestu. Om Nasurme Pranovastu. Om Akshanorme Chakshurastu. Om Karnayorme Shrotramastu. Om Bahurme Balamastu. Om Urdvorma Ojoastu. Om Arishtani Mengani Tanustanvame Sahasantu. Atheshwarastuti Prathanopasana Mantra. Glorifying, recounting, celebrating God's qualities and seeking to instill, to imbibe those qualities in ourselves that we may become closer to divinity. Om Vishwani Deva Savitara Duritani Parasua Yad Bhadram Tanna Suva. Om Hiranyagarbha Samavaratatagre Bhutasya Jatah Patirekasi Sadadhara Prithivim Yamutemam Kasmai Deva Yahavisha Vidhema. Om Ya Atmada Balada Yasya Vishwa उपासते प्रहिषं यस्य देवाः यस्य छायामृतं यस्य मृत्युः तस्मै देवा यः विशा विधेम ॐ यः प्राणतो निमिषतो महित्वैक इद्राजा जगतो बभूव य ईशे अस्य द्विपदश्चतुष्पदः कस्मै देवा यः विशा विधेम ॐ येन द्यौरुगा पृथिवी च दृढा येन स्वः स्थभितं येन नाकः यो अन्तरिक्षे रजसो विमानः तस्मै देवा यः विशा विधेम ॐ प्रजापते न त्वरेतानन्यो विश्वा जातानि परिता बभूव यत्कामास्ते जोहोमस्तनो अस्तु वयं स्याम पतयोरयणाम् ॐ सनो बन्धुरजनिता सा विधाता धामानि वेदभुवनानि विश्वा यत्र देवा अमृतमानशानास्तृतीये धामन्नधैरयन्ता ॐ अग्नेनय सुपथाराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वायुनानि विद्वान् यो योध्यस्मज्जोहोराणमेनो भूयिष्ठान्ते नमोक्तिं विधेम. O Lord, progenitor, creator of this universe, source of all prosperity, self-illumined giver of all happiness, we pray thee to wipe off all vices, evil desires, and distress, and place upon us good deeds. Create in us the desire of good ways and righteous nature, and give us moral strength that will bring bliss to us. Iti Shwarastuti Prarthana Upasana Prakaranam Ataha Swasti Vachanam. Prayers for harmony. Su Asti. Om Agnimire Purohitam Yajyasya Remamritvijam Bhotaram Ratnadhatamam Om Sanahapite Vasunave Gmi Supayano Bhava Sachaswanah Swastaye Om Swastino Mimita Mashmina Bhagaha Swasti Devyadipir Anaravanah Swasti Pusha Asuro Dhadatuna Swasti Dyava Prithvi Suchetuna Om Swastai Vayo Muprabhavamahe Somam Swasti Bhuvanasya Yaspatihi Brihaspatim Sarvaganam Swastai Swastaya Aditya So Bhavantu Naha Om Vishwe Devano Adya Swastaye Vaishwanaro Vasuragnihi Swastaye Deva Avantarivavah Swastaye Swastino Rudraha Patham Hasaha Om Swasti Mitra Varuna Swasti Patiye Revati Swastina Indrashchagnischa Swastino Arite Kribhi Om Swasti Pantha Manucharema Surya Chandramasa Punardharata Ghanata Janata Sangame Mahi. May we live a long and healthy life, continuing to hear and seeing only good things in others and from the world around us. And for as long as we live, may we continue to sing God's praise. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrinuyamadeva Bhadram Pashyemakshavirya Jatraha Stirairangaistushtavan Sastanobhir Vyashemahi Devahitam Yadayaho. Om Agna Ayahi Vitaye Grinano Havyadataye Nihota Satsi Barishi Om Tvam Agne Yajyanam Hota Vishvesham Hitah Devebhir Manushe Jane Om Yetri Shaptah Paryanti Vishwa Rupani Vibrata Vachaspatirvala Tesham Tanvo Adya Dadhatu Me Iti Sankshepatah Swasti Vachanam Ataha Shanti Karanam. Sham, peace, praying for peace individually, collectively. Extended, may there be peace, may peace and peace only pervade. We have prayed for harmony. When there's harmony, peace follows naturally. Om Shana Indragni Bhavatam Abhobhi Shanna Indra Varuna Ratahavya Shamindra Soma Suvitaya Shamyaho Shanna Indra Pushana Vajasatau Om Shano Bhagah Shamunah Shansu Astu Shannaha Purandhi Shamusanturaya Shannaha Satyasya Suryamasya Sansa Shanno Aryama Purjatu Astu Om Shano Dhata Shamudhartanu Astu Shanna Uruchi Bhavatu Swadhadhi Shamrodasi Brihati Shanno Adrihi Shanno Devanam Suhavani Santu Om Shano Agnir Jyotiraniko Astu Shanno Mitra Varuna Vashvinasham Shanna Sukritam Sukritani Santu Shana Ishiro Abhivatu Vataha Om Shano Dhyava Prithivi Purvahautau Shamantariksham Drashayenu Astu Shana Ushadhir Vanino Bhavantu Shano Rajasas Patirastu Vishnu Om Shana Indro Vasubhir Devu Astu Shamadite Bhir Varunah Sushansaha Shanno Rudro Rudre Bhir Jalashaha Shanastvashtagna Bririha Shrinotu Om Shanaha Somo Bhavatu Brahma Shannaha Shanno Grahanaha Shamusantu Yajjaha Shannaha Swaruna Mitayo Bhavantu Shanaha Prasavaha Shamuvastu Vedhi Ataha Shiva Sankalpa Mantra. May that my mind be filled with beautiful and benevolent thoughts. Om Yajagrato Duramudayeti Devam Tadu Suptasya Tatheveti Durangamam Jyotisham Jyotirekam Tanme Manaha Shiva Sankalpamastu. Om येन कर्माण्यपसो मनीषिणो यज्ञे कृण्वन्ति विदथे क्षुधीराः यदपूर्वं यक्षमन्तः प्रजानां तन्मे मनः शिव संकल्पमस्तु। सुशारते। ओम सुशारतिर अश्वानि वयन् मनुष्यान् मे नीयते भिक्षुभिर्वाजिनैव हृत्प्रतिष्ठं यदजिरं च विष्ठं तन्मे मनः शिव संकल्पमस्तु तन्मे मनः शिव संकल्पमस्तु। ओम सनः पवस्वशं गवे शं जनाय शमर्भते शं राजनौषधीभ्यः ओम अभयं नः करन्तरिक्षम् अभयं द्यावा पृथिवी उभयमे अभयं पश्चादभयं पुरस्ताद् उत्तराद् अधराद् अभयं नो अस्तु। ओम अभयं मित्राद् अभयम् अमित्राद् अभयं जाताद् अभयं परोक्षात् अभयं नक्तम् अभयं दीवानः सर्व आशा मम मित्रं भवन्तु सर्व आशा मम मित्रं भवन्तु। इति संक्षेपतः शान्तिकरणम्। अतः अग्निहोत्रम्। kindling. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वर्ग्यौरिवा भूमना पृथिवी वरेमणा तस्यास्ते पृथिवी देवयजनि पृष्ठ्यग्निमन्ना दमना द्याया दधे। ओम उद्बुद्य स्वाग्नि प्रतिजाग्रहि त्वमिष्टा पूर्ते संसृजेतामयं च अस्मिन् सदस्ते अद्युतरस्मिन् विश्वे देवा यजमानश्च सीदता। Samidhadanam, 3 pieces. Om ayanta idhma atma jata vedastene dhyasva vardhasva cheta vardhaya chasman prajaya pashuhbhir brahma varchase nanadyena samedhaya swaha idamagnye jata vedase idannah mama. Om samidhagnim dvasyata घृतैर्बोधयता तिथिम आस्मिन् हव्याजोहोतना सुसमिधाय शोषिषे घृतं तीव्रं जोहोतना अग्नये जातवेदसे स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नः मम। ओम तन्त्वा समिद्भिरङ्गिरौ घृतेन वर्धयामसि बृहश्चोच्छाय विष्ठ्य स्वाहा Idamagnay angirase idanna mama. Panchadvitahuti, 5 times ghee. Om Ayanta idma atma jata vedastene dhyasva vardhasva cheda vardhaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase nanadyena samedhaya swaha. Idamagnay jatavedase idanna mama. Om ayanta idma atma jatavedastene dhyasva vardhasva cheda vardhaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase nanadyena samedhaya swaha. Idamagnay jatavedase idanna mama. Om ayanta idma atma jatavedastene dhyasva vardhasva cheda vardhaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase nanadyena samedhaya swaha. Idamagnay jatavedase idanna mama. Om ayanta idma atma jatavedastene dhyasva vardhasva cheda vardhaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase nanadyena samedhaya swaha. Idamagnay jatavedase idanna mama. 5th and final time, all of us chanting. Om ayanta idma atma jata vedastene dhyasva vardhasva che davardhaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase nanadyena samedhaya swaha. Idamagnay jatavedase idanna mama. Jal, east from south to north, going to the direction of the diya, the deepak, at the northeastern side of the kund. Even if we don't have kund, we can imagine as we close and as we make that imaginary sprinkling, seeking soma from all directions, coolness. Om adityanumanyasva. Om anumatyanumanyasva. Om sarasvatyanumanyasva. Om deva savitah prasuvayja patim bhagaya divyo gandharvah ketapuhu ketannah punatu vachaspatir vachannah swadgatu ataha agarav ajya bhag ahuti. Ghee only, north, south, center. Om Agnay Swaha. Idamagnay Idanna Mama. Om Somaya Swaha. Idam Somaya Idanna Mama. Om Prajapate Swaha. Idam Prajapate Idanna Mama. Om Indraya Swaha. Idam Indraya Idanna Mama. Ghee and Samagri. Morning oblation, Tatahakal. Om Suryo Jyotir Jyotihi Suryah Swaha. Om Suryo Varcho Jyotir Varchah Swaha. Om Jyotihi Suryah Suryo Jyotihi Swaha. Om Sajudevena Savitra Sajurushashendravatya Jushanah Suryo Vetu Swaha. Om Bhudagnai Pranaya Swaha. Idamagnai Pranaya Idanna Mama. Om Bhudavaya Panaya Swaha. Idam Vayave Panaya Idanna Mama. Om Swaradityaya Vyanaya Swaha. Idamadityaya Vyanaya Idanna Mama. Om Bhurdbhuvah Swaragni Vayvaditebhyah Pranapani Vyanebhyah Swaha. Idamagni Vayvaditebhyah Pranapani Vyanebhyah Idanna Mama. Om Apo Jyotiraswam Mitam Brahma Bhurdbhuvah Swarom Swaha. Om Yamedham Devaganaha Pitarashchopasate Taya Mahamadya Medhayagne Medhavinam Kuru Swaha. Om Vishwani Deva Savitara Duriptani Parasuva Yadbhadram Tanna Asuva Swaha. Om Agnenaya Supatharaya Yasman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yoyodhyasmat Johoranameno Bhuishtante Namo Kim Vidhema Swaha. Ghee only again. Om Agnai Swaha. Idam Agnai Idanna Mama. Om Somaya Swaha. Idam Somaya Idanna Mama. Om Prajapate Swaha. Idam Prajapate Idanna Mama. Om Indraya Swaha. Idam Indraya Idanna Mama. Om Bhuragnai Swaha. Om Bhuragnai Swaha. Idamagnai Idanna Mama. Om Bhudavayave Swaha. Idamvayave Idanna Mama. Om Swaradityaya Swaha. Idamadityaya Idanna Mama. Om Bhurdbhuvah Swaragni Vayvaditebhyah Swaha. Idamagni Vayvaditebhyah Pranapani Vyanebhyah Idanna Mama. Before we chant Gayatri, we recognize the many forces around us, many events, forces generating events, those who are celebrating and those who may not be celebrating but observing in a different way. We recognize those who have been celebrating or those who are celebrating their birthday. I know specifically of Bahan Almail Ji and others whom I may not be aware of. We wish them all happy birthday. We would just chant 2 mantras in recognition of that. Om Shatam Jiva Sharado Vardhamanaha Shatam Hemantam Shatam Uvasantan Shatam Indragni Savita Brihaspatihi Shatayushe Havishe Mam Punardhu Swaha. Om Indra Jiva Surya Jiva Deva Jiva Jivasyamaham Sarvam Ayur Jivasam Swaha. And also one of the sisters from the Tarana dance school, I don't remember the name, but one sister, two sisters who run that school. One passed away recently, if perhaps just a few months ago, and now unfortunately the other sister has passed on. We recognize their contribution to not only to our mandir in events, but to the community at large. And we pray with the family, may the soul move on its journey in attainment of mukti. Just one mantra. I think it was Devika, if I may recall well.
Pandit, it's Devika passed away last year, October, I think, from Toronto Dance Group, and then Gita Leo from Gitika Dance Group passed recently.
Okay. Om Vairanilam Amritamatedam Bhasmantam Shariram Om Kratosmara Klive Smara Kritam Smara Swaha. And we recognize everyone, the total welfare, well-being of all our members, those who are non-members, everyone at large, those who may be suffering or silently as a result of, being confined and contained physically. May we reach out to all of them. May our prayer, the vibration of our prayers, reach to them all. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhave Swaha. Om Swasti Pantha Manuchare Ma Surya Chandramasa Viva Punardharata Ghanata Janata Sangame Mahi Swaha. Ataha Brahma Gayatri Savitri Guru Mantra. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitura Varenyam Bhargo Devas Yadhi Mahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitura Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhur Bhuvah Swaha Tatsavitura Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Trishtakrit, Suishtakrit. Om Yarasya Karmanothyari Richam Yadvanyunamiha Karam Agnishta Shrishta Krit Vidyat Sarvam Shrishtam Sahutam Karotume Agnaye Shrishta Krite Sahutahote Sarva Prayashchitahuti Nam Kamanam Samardhaitre Sarvanaha Kamanta Samardhaya Swaha Idamagnay Shrishtakrite Idanah Mama. God watches in silence, He's present within, and He watches, quote unquote. He knows everything that goes on. Recognizing this undeniable fact would deter us from breaking His laws, universal laws. Om Prajapate Swaha Idam Prajapate Idannah Mama. All is final, all is complete, all is perfect, all is complete. Seeking perfection and completeness. Om Sarvanvai Purnam Swaha. Om Sarvanvai Purnam Swaha. Om Sarvanvai Purnam Swaha. Mukha Sparsh. Om Tanupagniyasi Tanvame Pahi. Om Ayurdagnisi Ayurme Dehi. Om Varchodagniyasi Varchome Dehi. Om Agneyanme Tanva Unam Tanva Aprena. Om Medhame Devaha Savita Adadhatu. Om Medhame Devi Saraswati Adadhatu. Om Medhame Ashvinau Devavadhatam Pushkaras Rajau. Apyayatam, may there be ever present the requisite congruent strength in our limbs. Om Vakshama Apyayatam. Om Pranashchama Apyayatam. Om Chakshushchama Apyayatam. Om Shrotranchama Apyayatam. Om Yasho Balanchama Apyayatam. Vamditajanam. Om Bhur-bhuvah Swaha. Om Bhur-bhuvah Swaha. Kayanaschitra Bhuvad. Uti Sada Vridah Sakha. Kaya Shashishtaya Vrita. Om Bhur-bhuvah Swaha. Kastva Satyo Madanam. Manghishto Matsadandhasa Dridha Chidaruje Vasu. Om Bhur-bhuvah Swaha. Abhishunah Sakhinam. Avita Jaritrinam. Shatam Bhavasyutaye. Shatam Bhavasyutaye. Iti Agnihotram. First and last of the Brahma Stotram. Namaste Satete Jagat Karanaya. Namaste Chite Sara Valokashrayaya. Namo Dvaita Tattva Yamukti Pradaya. Namo Brahmane Vya Dinesha Shvataya. Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva. Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva. Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva. Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Pujani, somebody I know would as volunteer, don't remember who it is. Pujaniya Prabhu Hamare.
Om Pujaniya Prabhu Hamare भाव उज्जवल कीजिए छोड़ देवे चल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए वेद की गावे रिचाए सत्य को धारण करे हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे शोक सागर से तरे अश्वमेधाधिक रचाए यज्ञ पर उपकार को धर्म मर्यादा चलाकर लाभ दे संसार को नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञ आदि हम करते रहे रोग पीड़ित विश्व के संताप सब हरते रहे भावना मिट जाए मन से पाप अत्याचार की कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे यज्ञ से नर नार की लाभकारी हो हवन हर जीव धारी के लिए वायु जल सर्वत्र हो शुभ गंध को धारण किए स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो ईदन मम का सार तक प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो हाथ जोड़ झुकाए मस्तक वंदना हम कर रहे नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे पूजनीय प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्जवल कीजिए चोर देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए प्रभु मानसिक बल दीजिए प्रभु मानसिक बल दीजिए. Namaste ji, and thank you everyone for joining today's satsang. I would like to thank Pandit Vidyarthi who conducted today's Sandhya and Havan. Moving on in the program, I just want to let everyone know that this program is dedicated to the selfless sacrifices of our mothers, our sisters, and grandmothers as we commemorate International Women's Day. On the United Nations website, it is said that International Women's Day is celebrated in many countries around the world. It is a day when women are recognized for their achievements without regard to divisions, whether national, ethnic, linguistic, cultural, economic, or political. With this in mind, I would like to set the tone for today's satsang. As we move forward in our program, I invite Mataji Rupa to render the first bhajan. Over to you, Mataji.
Auntie Rupa, you got to unmute your microphone.
Okay, am I on?
Yes, good.
Thank you. I would like to dedicate this Geet in the passing of Geeta Leo and Devika Chetram. They've made such a contribution in our community with their dance school and different things. I mean, I participated one summer with Devika just to do something that summer. So this Geet, it's on the soul and reincarnation, and it's for all women also. Okay. It's on page 92 of the Atma Geet. गति जीव आत्मा की कोई समझाए, कहाँ से ये आए, कहाँ लौट जाए, कहाँ से ये आए, कहाँ लौट जाए, कभी इसका आना जाना किसी ने न जाना, कभी इसका आना जाना किसी ने न जाना, कहाँ का निवासा है ये, कहाँ है ठिकाना, किसी को भी कोई अपना हो, किसी को भी कोई अपना पता ना बताए, कहाँ लौट जाए, गति जीव आत्मा की कोई समझाए, कहाँ से ये आए, कहाँ लौट जाए, प्रभु ने हजारों तोहफे बन कर दिए है, प्रभु ने हजारों तोहफे बन कर दिए है, खुद रात नजर में जग में इसी के लिए है, इन्हीं छू के जाता है हो, इन्हीं छोड़ के जाता है, समझ जाना आए, कहाँ लौट जाए, गति जीव आत्मा की कोई समझाए, कहाँ से ये आए, कहाँ लौट जाए, पथिक ये प्रभु की माया प्रभु जानता है, प्रभु पथिक ये प्रभु का माया प्रभु जानता है, प्रभु की सिवा न कोई पहचानता है, जो महान शक्ति सारी हो, जो महान शक्ति सारे विश्वाच चलाए, कहाँ लौट जाए, गति जीव आत्मा की कोई समझाए, कहाँ से ये आए, कहाँ लौट जाए, कहाँ से ये आए, कहाँ लौट जाए. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste, Auntie Rupa. Thank you for that rendition. At this time, I would like to invite Mataji Priya, who will be delivering today's message. She will be presenting on today's occasion. So over to you, Mataji.
Namaste to one and all. And thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak today on this important topic. I would love to start with a 2-minute meditation. If you will please join me. Wherever you're seated, sit with your head, neck, and trunk aligned. If you're seated, you can place a little cushion behind your sit bone. If you're on a chair, sit in Maitri Asana with feet planted on the ground and begin to observe your breath, taking a deep, long inhalation, using all 3 levels of breathing, utilizing your lungs to the best of your capacity. When you exhale, exhale long and slow. Feel all the stresses and strains flow out of your body. As you inhale and exhale, drop your shoulders. Remove all tensions from the neck. It's Sunday. Let's relax. Now, establish this breath awareness at your nostrils, feeling the warmth as you exhale. By now, you would have closed your eyes as you come within. Focus on your nostrils, inhalation, exhalation. And now follow the breath, breathing as though you're breathing from your navel to nostrils, nostrils to navel, navel to nostril. And take the mantra Soham, the universal sound of the universe. Exhale, hum. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Inhale, slow. Continuing to observe both the stream of the breath and the stream of the mantra, smooth without a break, without a jerk. Let's surrender to the Lord and be grateful for this body that we have. Om Shanti. Thank you for joining me as we center ourselves, even making me a little bit calmer so that I'm not nervous speaking to you today. I begin with a mantra. Om Stutamaya Varada Veda Mata Prachodayantam Pavamani Dvijanam Ayahu Pranam Prajam Pashyam Kirtim Dravinam Brahma Varchasam Mahyam Datva Vrajata Brahmalokam. This comes from the Atharva Veda. May Ved Mata, the mother of all the Vedas, Gayatri, to whom I offer prayer, purify me and grant me longevity, vital flame, wealth and spiritual splendor. Now, as Samantha said, International Women's Day is tomorrow. It's a global day celebrating social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. And it started in 1911 with the support of over 1 million people. So this movement is not really a country, a group, an organization. It tells you that inequality has been recognized the world over and has been fought for a very, very long time. As Samantha said, different countries have different days that it's celebrated or observed. And this year in North America, many other parts, it's choose to challenge. So what does this hashtag mean? We're all responsible for our own thoughts and actions all day, every day. So whenever we see something, we need to call out. We need to challenge any gender bias, any equality. We may not in our everyday lives come across discrimination against women as blatantly in front of us, but more than ever, it exists. You know, it's no secret that women have been overlooked, and in some developing countries are only looked on as childbearers. Yet in some countries, it really needs work. And in North America, we always hear about breaking the glass ceiling. What is this? This is where women and other women from other cultures are completely qualified for a job, but they never get it because I guess men come first, and there is the notion that men do a better job whether they're qualified or not. But let me tell you, there's nothing to stop women from participating equally in industry, have control over their own time, their lives, and their bodies. If they have an increased voice, they can participate meaningfully in decision making from household to the highest of institutions. We know that when women are able to work and contribute and they're nurtured, economies grow and further generations become very powerful. You know, the United Nations has done a lot of work on this, and most recently they found that 90% of people interviewed across 75 countries realize that there is one clear bias for women in one area, such as it could be politics, it could be economics, it could be violence, it could be women's reproductive rights. And we know too that women earn less than men for all the same jobs. So only through equal participation of women we can really benefit in this world. Things are changing, of course. You know, only because I live in America, I'm going to mention Kamala Harris, and so many women in government and business, not only in the US though, in Canada, in Germany, in other countries, and there is the president of the European Central Bank is a woman. There are women in space. So, you know, things are progressing, and let us all do our part to continue to help this effort. They say the hand that rocks the cradle, you know, what rocks the world, I think. As we know, of course, Swami Dayanand fought tirelessly for the rights of women in India. The Arya Samaj is known as one of the most influential movements in raising the status of women. And in the Satyarprakash, I think it's chapter 2, Swami Dayanand emphasized education for women in all castes and was instrumental in starting the opening of girls' schools around India in like maybe 1862. You know, granted, it was a slow start, and girls will have to finish their studies at a younger age than boys, and they would have to get married earlier and so on. It was still an incredible start. I came across a book in my library. It's called Shastra Navanitam, and it's written by Pandit Vedalankar. I don't know what year, but it's a study of the Hindu scriptures. It was given to my father in like 1981, and I'm lucky to be the one to have the book. Oh, here's what the book actually looks like. Anyways, in every part of it, it describes the importance of women not only in the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Manusmriti, Ramayana, all positive, all progressive. During the Vedic age in India, women had a position of equality with men. And during the Upanishadic age and after, women were always accorded a place of honor and dignity, enjoyed the respect of all. It goes on to quote many women who have not only been chanting the Vedic mantras, but entered in discourses across India. Some of these names are like Lopamudra, Urvashi, Yami, Gargi, and so on. So women always enjoyed the freedom of education, and with education comes freedom. The entire Viva Sanskar, we've heard those mantras so many times. It always refers to honoring the bride as she enters her new home, since she is recognized as the main nurturer in the family. So yesterday, Mommy attended Acharyaji's Havan, and she was very impressed with the quotation from the Manusmriti. I think it was 56. So just for you, Mom, I'm going to give it a try, although, as you know, I'm not a Sanskrit scholar. So bear with me. Yatra naryastu pujante ramyante tatra devataha yatra itastu na pujante sarvas tatra pala kriya. Where women are honored, where the gods rejoice, where on the other hand they are not honored, there all rights bear no fruit. So this comes from the Manusmriti. He really backs this up. And, you know, after time, the status of women did fluctuate. And we know in the time of Swami Dayanand, women were oppressed, they were suppressed. The plight of women had completely deteriorated. There is no question about that. They were denied education. There was widow marriage was forbidden, and the system of burning women on their husband's pyre, those things were all acceptable. But when there began that strong reformist movement, which started with Swami Dayanand, and after that, so many others, all these efforts, I believe, have borne fruit, and there has been a complete turnaround. And as I said, so many powerful leaders in government, business, technology. Now, you know, I might be giving my age away, but I did grow up in Guyana in the early 50s. We knew then that the work that Swami Dayanand had done, he had worked tirelessly for the rights of women. And at that time, I became aware at a very, very early age that the sky was the limit for women. It does not happen in many other sections of our culture, or in many other countries. This is really not so. But at that age, in the 50s, 60s, I personally knew of many women who at that time were allowed to perform Havan for all varieties of sanskars, all varieties of occasions. Notably, Mrs. Sarjude Devi Mohanram, the mother of Didi Sharda, Mrs. Singh from Springlands, who later moved to Holland and did a lot of work there. Mrs. Burroughs also, I knew her from Suriname, and she was very, very strong leader in the Arya Samaj. And when I was with the Arya, I knew so many different leaders there, and especially the women, who each and every one of us had the notion that every Aryan should be able to perform their own sacraments. And today you can see from the virtual sessions of every organizations that might show up, all the Zoom and all the Facebook, that there are a ton of women Pandits in Arya Samaj tradition everywhere in Guyana, in Trinidad, in New York, in Toronto, so many parts of the world. So tomorrow, let us remember that Gender equality is a human right. Yes, women have an undeniable role in bearing their children, privileged and lucky, but they also have the time and again shown, they have the strength to be able to be mothers, daughters, wives, to have a solid profession, to be the nurturer and the caregiver for generations to come. Yes, the hand that rocks the cradle. As the observation for tomorrow asks, let us do our part, always challenge what is not fair, what is not right, and what is unequal, and follow the precepts of our yamas, always nonviolence, always be kind, always be compassionate. And with that, I close with the peace chant, oh God, lead me from unreal and untrue to the real and true, from darkness of ignorance to the light of consciousness, and from mortality to immortality. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Mataji Priya, for that very relevant and very inspiring message. I would like, before we bring this program to a close, I would just like to make mention of a few programs that we have coming up, a few events. Later this afternoon at 3 p.m., we will be having a joint program with Arya Samaj Markham in commemoration again of International Women's Day. Additionally, we will be having a joint program with ASM for Rishi Bodh Utsav next Sunday at 10 a.m., where we will be continuing the celebration. As mentioned by Mataji Priya, Swami Rishi Dayananji fought for women's rights, and we found it only fitting on Rishi Bodh Utsav to continue our celebration. Mataji Indira will be circulating more details on both events. At this time, I also invite her to render Arti Bhajan, after which Pandit Vidyarthi ji will close the program with prayers. Thank you, and Namaste ji.
Namaste, everybody, and thank you again for joining. We're going to come to a close, and we hope everyone will be able to join us for the joint ASM TAS International Women's Day celebration at 3 o'clock today. If you do need the link, you can always unmute and let me know, and I'll send it to you. It was circulated via email. We hope to see everyone today, and we want to acknowledge and honor all the women in our lives that have made a difference, been role models for us, and then that we continue to look up to throughout our lives. We're going to come to a close with Arti Bhajan. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare, Bhakt Jano ke sankat, Bhakt Jano ke sankat, Chhan mein dur kare. Om Jai Jagadish Hare. जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख बिन से मन का स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण गहूँ किसकी स्वामी शरण गहूँ किसकी तुम बिन और न दूजा तुम बिन और न दूजा आस करो जिसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी, स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी। पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता, स्वामी तुम पालन करता। दीन दयाल कृपालु, दीन दयाल कृपालु, कृपा करो बढ़ता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक गोचर, सबके प्राणपति, स्वामी सबके प्राणपति। किस विधि मिलो दया में, किस विधि मिलो दया में, तुमको मैं कुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे, स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे। करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ, करुणा हस्त बढ़ाओ, द्वार परा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
शांति पाठ। ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः, पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्ति, रोषधय शान्ति, वनस्पत्यः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवः शान्ति, ब्रह्मा शान्ति, सर्वं शान्ति। शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। प्रेम से बोलो ओंकार भगवान की जय। प्रेम से बोलो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र की जय। प्रेम से बोलो योगी राज श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। प्रेम से बोलो आर्य समाज और महर्षि दयानंद की जय। प्रेम से बोलो वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमस्ते।